Hello, everyone. My name is TJ and my co partner Elijah here. We're going to read you a book today. Say hi, Elijah.
Hi.
Today we're going to read Lost and Found. Alrighty.
Is that the boy?
That's the boy, yeah. Once there was a boy who found a penguin at his door.
No, read the penguin.
Yeah, the penguin. The boy didn't know where it had come from, but it began to follow him everywhere. The penguin looked sad. The boy thought it might be lost. So the boy decided to help the penguin find its way home. He checked in the lost and found office, but no one was missing a penguin, Elijah.
My name
He asked some birds if they knew where the penguin
Daddy.
came from. Yes.
Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah.
Hi.
Yeah, say hi. But they ignored him. Some birds are like that. You see the birds?
It's on the trees. I don't want it's black.
Yeah, the birds is on the trees. The boy asked his duck, but the duck floated away. He didn't know either.
That's the moon.
That is the moon, son.
Uh-huh.
That night, the boy couldn't sleep for disappointment. He wanted to help the penguin, but he wasn't sure how.
My name is Elijah.
The next morning, he discovered...
My name is TJ.
Yes. The next
Hi.
morning, he discovered that the penguins come from the South Pole. But how could he get there, Elijah? He got to put his jacket on. He ran down to the harbor and asked a big ship to take him to the South Pole. But his voice was much too small to be heard over the ship's horn.
Beep, beep, beep.
Together, the boy decided he and the penguin would row to the South Pole. So the boy took his rowboat out and tested it for size and strength. He told stories to the penguin to help pass the time. Then they packed everything they needed. You see the umbrella, son? You see the penguin?
Sad.
He's sad. Yeah, he is sad. And pushed the rowboat out to sea. They rowed south for many days and many nights. What's that, son? That's the star, man.
It's black. It's black.
There was lots of time for stories, and the penguin listened to everyone. So the boy would always tell another one.
Mm-hmm.
They floated through good weather and bad. And when the waves were as big as mountains, until finally they came to the South Pole.
Oh, Mom.
The boy was delighted, Elijah, but the penguin said nothing. Suddenly it looked sad as the boy helped it out of the boat. Welcome to the South Pole.
Goodbye.
Then the boy said goodbye and floated away.
Is that Mama?
No, that's the penguin.
Her sad.
Yeah, she's sad. When he looked back, the penguin was still there, but it looked sadder than ever, Elijah. It felt strange for the boy to be on his own. There was no point telling stories now because there was no one to listen except the wind and the waves. Instead, he thought, and the more he thought, the more he realized he had made a big mistake. The penguin hadn't been lost. It had just been lonely, Elijah. Quickly, he turned the boat around and rowed back to the South Pole as fast as he could. At last, he reached the pole again. But where was the penguin, Elijah?
Where is he?
Where is he? The boy searched and searched, but he was nowhere to be found. Sadly, the boy set off for home. But then the boy saw something in the water ahead of him, Elijah. Oh, what's that? Closer and closer he got until he could see the penguin. Yay!
Thank you.
And so the boy and his friend went home together, talking of wonderful things all the way.
Thank you.
The end.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to me and Elijah read Lost and Found. Say bye, Elijah.
Bye.